Before we even say a single word about focus, attention span, or algorithm, let's get us things straight. Everything I'm about to tell you in this video is entirely based on experiments I'm doing on myself. This is my blueprint, these are my rules, and I am the test subject. You are completely 100% free to disagree with my methods, my philosophy, or the way I view discipline. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not an academic guru. I'm just a guy sharing what happens when you decide to stop letting a piece of glass and a mental ruin your life. Look around. Everyone is complaining about the exact same thing. I can't even read a single page of book anymore. I can't sit down to study for 20 minutes even without checking my notifications. I cannot even watch a movie without looking at my phones during the slow scenes. We have been told a massive lie. We have been told that our attention spans are naturally shrinking, like some kind of evolutionary mistake. That is completely false. Your brain is not broken, it's working perfectly fine. It has simply adapted to the environment you are trapped in. Think about it. Every single day, for hours and on the end, you feed your brain hyperstimulation for 7-second burst. You swipe, your brain gets a cheap hit of dopamine. You get bored, you swipe again. Over months and years, your brain learns a very specific survival mechanism. If I am let alone with my thoughts for even half a second, a screen will rescue me. You have not lost the ability to focus, you have just completely lost your tolerance for being bored. And the moment a task requires you to push through boredom, like studying maths or grinding through a home workout, your brain panics and reaches for the rescue switch in your pocket. When people realize their focus is gone, they try to fix it using the worst tool available, raw willpower. They sit down at their desk, they look at the phone, and they tell themselves, I'm going to be disciplined today, I will not touch it. And within 15 minutes, they relapse every single time. Why? Because willpower is a very finite battery. Every second your phone is sitting within your field of view, your brain is actively expanding energy to not look at it. You are running a background program in your mind that is constantly draining your power. By the time you actually need to focus on a difficult work, your battery is completely dead. If you want a real attention span, you have to stop relying on motivation and start relying on the real actual methods. You need to stop fighting the urge to distract yourself and start building what I call a friction barrier. Protocol 1 is about maximizing physical friction. Human beings are fundamentally lazy. If a bad habit is easy to do, you will do it automatically without even thinking. But if you make a bad habit require physical effort, your brain will literally talk itself out of doing it. When it's time to do deep work, study, or train, your phone cannot be in the same room. It cannot be in your pocket. It needs to be inside a bag, inside a closet, or in a completely different room. Force yourself to have a physically stand up, walk across the room, open the door, unzip the bag just to check a notification. By the time you even walk halfway there, the automatic unconscious loop is broken. Your conscious mind kicks in and says, what am I even doing? Is this notification actually worth walking across the house for? Most of the time, the answer is no. You turn back around and you go back to work. You use your natural laziness to protect your mind. The second part of this experiment is the hardest, and it's where the actual rewiring happens. It's what I call the reclaiming dead time. Think about the gaps in your day. When you are traveling on a bus for 3 hours, when you are standing on a long line at a store, when you are sitting on a bench resting between heavy sets of dumbbells during a workout, what do you normally do? You pull out a screen to kill your silence. By doing that, you're telling your brain that the quiet time is an emergency, that it needs to be fixed with the stimulation. During these dead spaces, I forced myself into a new rule: do absolutely nothing. No music, no scrolling, no podcast. Just sit in the discomfort of your own mind. Let your thoughts wander. Process the day. Look at the environment around you. When you force your brain to endure 20 or even 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence while traveling or waiting, you are training the focus muscle. You are teaching your brain a critical lesson. Boredom will not kill me. Boredom is not my enemy. Silence is safe. This is not about being perfect. And I like said in the start, you don't have to agree with this lifestyle. It's aggressive, it's isolated, and it deeply focuses on uncomfortableness. But look at the world around you. We are living in a race to the bottom of the attention span economy. Everyone is losing their ability to think deeply, to read, to build a high level physique, or you need to go through a massive project at the end of the day. Attention is required in every field. If you can be the one person in the circle who can sit in room for 2 hours with a book, a textbook or a pair of weights without needing a digital pacifier to keep you calm, you instantly possess a superpower. You outspace 90% of the competition simply because you can still longer in the race. You are you outpace 90% of the competition simply because you can still sit longer. Stop feeding the You outspace 90% of the competition simply because you can sit still longer than they can. Stop feeding the machine, build the friction, and reclaim your mind. Or don't, like I said, it's just my experiment. See you in the next one.